What's up guys, welcome to the video. So today we are doing the Q&A from my Instagram. So if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me so you do not miss the next Instagram question and answer. So alright, let's just go ahead and get started. So first question is from Nathan Tabor Visuals. Who was a skateboarder you are almost starstruck by? I am using starstruck loosely. I'd say the first skateboarder that I was starstruck by was probably Donnie Barley, because he was actually the first pro that I ever met and ever seen. He was skating at the Haven skate park where I first started skating, and then he was actually living in the area, and so he came down, he was skating in the park, and I was just like following him around and just kind of skating behind him. And yeah, it was just really cool to see a pro. And then the next one I was really starstruck at was at Skater Island, when there was a demo there and Bam Margera showed up, and I was just watching him skate the mini ramp. And you know, when you see a pro at first and you've seen them skate in many videos, and then it's like you see them in person, it's just almost like whoa. So I was like pretty starstruck. It was super cool. But now it's like really cool that they're actually my friends and I've skated with them and hung out with them, so it's pretty cool. So next question, Levis Moran, I kind of butchered that. Recommended protein for women. I would say for women anywhere from 0.7 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. So for a 125 pound female, you're looking at roughly 85 to 100 grams of protein. That should be more than enough. Anything more than that is just expensive carbs. Tusa with Love says, of all the places you've been or visited, which is your favorite? I would say Australia or Okinawa. Australia is super cool just because of the way they do things, their whole culture over there, and just like the country is amazing. I had a great time. I've been to Australia 3 times, I believe, and every time was super fun. And also Okinawa was really cool because I'm super into cars and stuff, and like you would see a skyline, like the old school ones, like the real legit skylines, not like all these new GTRs that are out. You'd see skylines just driving by all day long, and it was just like holy shit. And plus the spots are really good. And I went there on a Volcom trip a super long time ago, and I think all the footage is in the Let's Live video. Fuck, man. Yeah, the spots were amazing, the tour guides were awesome, the demos were super fun, and yeah, Okinawa was awesome. Charles Black says, you going to release a cookbook for your recipes? I've been asked that a few times. I think I really should just put a cookbook together and yeah, just do it. You know, because I have so many recipes for, you know, gluten-free, grain-free, Hashimoto-friendly recipes, vegan, you name it. I can pretty much make anything. There's tons of recipes out there, but I've found a few really good ones, so I think I'll come out with a recipe book soon. X Stay Cold says, despite all of the struggles you faced regarding skateboarding and now bodybuilding, what's the #1 thing you have always told yourself to keep you motivated and striving for success? Side note, you know I always bring this up, but if you don't put the famous gray beanie on, I'm not going to believe you still have it. 1 second. Alright, so this is one of the famous gray beanies. So yeah, I used to cut the back of the beanie and then thread through a shoelace because my hair was so long.
Get some Vegemite. Vegemite, Matt? You want some Vegemite?
That it would always just kind of fly off. So I would thread a shoelace through it and then kind of tighten it so it would stay on pretty tight. And then, man, I used to rock this shit hardcore. So yeah, this is the Solstice one. I've had many of them, but it all started with the gray Thrasher beanie. And I had a few of the gray Thrasher beanies, and then actually Erica Yari, she stole it one time at the Tampa Pro Contest. So I think she still might have it. So yeah, and then I don't know, I just maybe lost the other one. So then I had a Red Bull one, I had the Solstice one, but I had a few of them. So let me finish answering this question. I really think just being consistent and just basically coming from where I was, you know, after I broke my neck, I did get into a lot of drugs with like you know, doing tons of ketamine and tons of Molly, lots of drinking. So I went through a very, very dark patch of my life, and I basically hit rock bottom. And so basically seeing where I am now and where I was, it just keeps me really driven. And that's why I always bring up my story in like some of my Instagram posts, just to let people know, you know, that there's hope and you can overcome anything that you're dealing with. So yeah, I basically just use my past as motivation to just keep moving forward. All right. All right, so next question is from Andrew. What's up, Andrew? I actually lived with Andrew and Deshaun Jordan and Timmy Jams and Tyler and Cody and Steve Berra, all in Pasadena, like all of last year. So this question is from Andrew. What's the hardest trick you ever filmed, or the clip you're most proud of? I think the hardest trick that I ever filmed, I really don't know. I mean, a lot of them were kind of hard, but some of them kind of came pretty quickly. I mean, some of them came within 3 tries, and some tricks would maybe take an hour, really depending on the spot, or it was like I'd even have to go back to the spot a few times. But I think my favorite clip that I ever filmed was probably the kickflip in Philly over the, I guess it's called like the Ricky Oyola bump, or Kerry Getz skated it a while back. He grinded up it across and down. But yeah, all of those clips I was super stoked on. Yeah. Next question, what's up with the E30? Now the E30 is basically, well, the E30 is blown up. It had low oil pressure from pretty much the start. When I bought the car, it had 190K on it, and I basically just built a turbo setup for it, and my plan was just to drive it over the summertime and enjoy it, which I did. And then it just got tired, and then I was cruising on the highway, and then the oil light would come on at idle, and so then when you start driving, the oil pressure would build up. And so I was on the highway driving, and then the oil light started flickering, and I'm just looking down at it, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And then it just went completely red, and then the engine just got louder and louder and louder, and there was like boom, 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 bang, and then just basically blew up. And then I threw it in neutral, and I'm cruising, and then I had to get onto the breakdown lane, and I was just basically parked, and I'm like, shit. I tried to start it, and it was just so loud, and like the whole car was shaking and vibrating. So then I just jammed it into first, started driving, had my foot to the floor, and it just was barely moving. So then I cracked second, finally got moving a little bit, going like 15 miles an hour. Things sounds like it's gonna blow to pieces, but I got it off of the highway, and then a buddy of mine actually towed it to my garage, so now it's just in the garage. And basically time is kind of an issue right now. Like I don't have enough time to go there and work on it. I've been busy with the modeling stuff and training and just a lot of stuff going on right now. But yeah, I'll definitely get to it, and I have a whole nother motor for it that I will be putting in and installing. So that'll be coming in the future. Ryan Lowe 76, would you rather be sitting on or skating that bench? Well, that bench actually kind of sucks. So sitting on it is pretty relaxing. And I do have my condition, my Hashimoto's, which definitely sucks. And my energy levels aren't the greatest. So sitting down on the bench was pretty relaxing. So yeah, that answers the question. A pretty lame answer, but Mango Steen says, where would you like to live if you could live anywhere and the city of New Bedford weren't cutting it? Well, yeah, right now the city of New Bedford isn't really cutting it. The only thing that I have going on here is basically the modeling stuff. But in terms of like what I want to do, grow and expand and build a big audience, it's very hard to do it from the city of New Bedford, as there's not many other people that are really doing what I'm doing in terms of like social media and YouTube and just basically like fitness stuff that I'm doing. It's very hard, and that's basically how I built my skateboarding career. Like when I was here, I would skate, but then I started traveling. I linked up with more people, did more demos, skated contests, and just skating with bigger and better people. Like that's what got me to get better. You know, you just get inspired and you just want to grow and you just want to be better pretty much. So there's going to be some changes coming pretty soon, which I'm pretty excited about, and I'll be sharing that with all of you guys. Wards Miller, what's up, Chris Miller? Hope you're good, bro. What happened to Fibro? Now I rode for Fibro. It was like, well, my first real sponsor was Saint Skateboards, which I was on the team for I think like 2 months or something. And then just going to Fibro with Anthony Shetler, we would go up to New York all the time skating demos because Anthony was on the Fibro team, and I would always tag along, skate all the demos with everybody. And then, you know, after just going to so many demos and just Steve Rodriguez watching me skate, and as I was getting better, and then he wanted me to be part of the team, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm down. So I rode for Fibro for a while, and then sent the tape to Spitfire and Thunder to get trucks and wheels, and basically to get flow. And then I have another question that I gotta answer, so I'll get more into that. So basically I rode for Spitfire and Thunder, and they wanted me to ride for real, but I said no, and stayed riding with Fibro for a while. And then basically it became a great opportunity to ride for Real Skateboards, as they were a bigger company and in the industry, and my dream was to become a pro skater and be as big as I could. So I ended up leaving Fibro and got on Real, and so yeah, that's what kind of happened with Fibro. But it was great. I had some of the best trips, some of the best times going up to New York all the time. The whole crew was so awesome. It was like one big family, and Fibro is super cool, and I love what they do. Anna92 says, one supplement you think you wouldn't be able to live without. I think the #1 supplement in the world is food. Food's #1, but one supplement would definitely be PA7. Now what PA7 is, it's an mTor elevator and a nutrient partitioner. So it helps drive more nutrients to the muscle cell and can increase lean gains as well as strength gains. I talk about this supplement in some of my training videos. It's a very, very good supplement, and I highly recommend everybody at least try it out. It's definitely well worth it, and you won't be disappointed. Steve J. Hurley says, what are your thoughts on exclusively working out with kettlebells for functional strength and injury prevention for skating? Now the thing is with kettlebells, I feel like they're completely fine to do if you know what you're doing, but I feel there's so many people that get injured from it's a very aggressive way of training, and if you're not doing it properly, then you could, you know, pull muscles or that'll induce injury, and that's what you do not want. So if you're training with kettlebells and you're doing them safely, I see no problem with it, but I really don't personally train with kettlebells. I train, basically you guys see everything I train. So I train mainly main compounds, which I feel are most optimal for strength and size gains. So yeah, kettlebells are fine as long as you know what you're doing. Mr. JC Smith, what's up Justin? Hope you're good, bro. What is your favorite triceps workout? Thanks Nick, can't wait to watch it. Now my favorite tricep movement, well first off I'll give you all the tricep movements that I like. I like doing the weighted dip. Weighted dips are really fun. Decline, tricep extensions, cable rope pushdowns. But my absolute favorite tricep movement is single arm overhead tricep extension, because you get a nice deep stretch, and then you can extend it super high, get a nice contraction, and then come back down nice and slow, controlling the eccentric, and you get a nice deep stretch and then contract. So that's definitely one of my favorite tricep movements. Yeah, you guys can implement them into your training, and it's a great movement. Cat Fancy 187, is Jim T the best man in skateboarding? How did you get hooked up with Real/Deluxe? Yes, Jim Thiebaud is the absolute boss. He has done so much for skateboarding, and it was super cool to be part of Real, Spitfire, and Thunder. You know, as you guys see, I'm not with Real Skateboards anymore. I decided to leave a long time ago. I don't know, I basically just kind of wanted to start a new chapter in my life. But yeah, definitely being part of the Real team and being able to work with Jim Thiebaud was super amazing. And you know, I wish I could do it all over again. You know, I had so much fun and I really enjoyed it, and Jim Thiebaud is an absolute boss. So if you're watching this, Jim, you're the man. I love you.